Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's John. Today is day 44 of my 2-month Fasted-Thenics challenge. Let me start with the numbers. Today I weigh 181.7 pounds. Blood pressure is 114 over 70. 70 milligrams per deciliter for blood glucose, and 4.5 millimoles per liter on ketones. So the only thing I want to talk about today is basically there are occasions where I'm not doing the walk. I am continuing doing the 4 workout sessions every day and keeping the rep count consistent for as much as possible. I've mentioned a couple of times where I went without doing the lunges because I was having some pain there in my knees. But it was just for a short period of time, and I'm back on it. The rep count's been the same ever since. As far as walking, though, I'll give you a couple examples. When we took our short trip down to Florida a couple weeks ago, there were times where we were getting in a lot of workouts, like in the form of, say, going snorkeling or walking on the beach, or I don't know, just walking around Key West or something like that. And so in those cases, I wasn't logging a strict 2-mile walk for that day. I didn't want to overdo it and mess up the numbers even worse. Like, it's impossible for us to be lab rats and keep things exactly precisely the same and eliminate everything except for one variable and then run the experiment over and over until you learn something. You kind of have to use some common sense, and you control as much as you can, and you just do what makes sense. So, for example, today, another example, my wife and I went and did a bunch of shopping, walking around many different retail stores, and that is a lot of miles in a day. It's not something I normally do. So in the case of today, I'm not doing the walk. So I think it's very reasonable. It's definitely what I'm doing, and I kind of like adjust as we go, depending on how much exercise I get. If I have to mow the grass, I'm not going to log the walk. I'm just trying to balance it as much as I can. And the only thing that I can change, that I'm willing to change during this Fasted-Thenics challenge, is basically the walk. Because the 4 exercise workout sessions a day have to happen. The rep count has to happen. And the protein shake has to happen. And the bone broth has to happen. I'm not consuming anything else except for green tea. Not every day, but occasionally. I'd say probably more than 50%, probably more like 60 to 70% of my days I've had at least 1 cup of green tea. No sweetener, no additive, nothing. And then coffee. Sometimes it's black coffee, but a lot of times I end up putting maybe 2 tablespoons of almond coconut milk that I also use in the protein shake. I put that in the coffee just to kind of like cut the bitterness of the coffee sometimes. And but outside of that, there is nothing else to change. I think that's the only thing that I could possibly change is whether or not I do the 2-mile walk on the treadmill or I don't. There have been a couple of times where I ended up doing a walk in the neighborhood with my wife just to spend some time with her. Instead of doing it on the treadmill, it was a nice day and that kind of thing. The treadmill is obviously better. I can keep the pace exactly the same every single time, and I can stop it exactly at the same 2 miles. But I will make exceptions like that because I don't think the difference between going 2.5 miles and variable speed out in the neighborhood versus 2-mile rigid here on the treadmill, I don't think it's going to make that much difference over the course of this two months. Because the purpose of this is mainly to show that I can do this in a healthy way, not consume the food. I don't know how much autophagy I am experiencing with this kind of structure, but I'll be interested to see if anybody does some studies on things like this. It's basically trying to get minimum intake and get the maximum benefit of the fast. And on top of that, for me personally, I've been working on fixing my blood pressure, fixing my blood sugar, and then also working to improve my muscle mass during this, and then also my testosterone levels. So hopefully I'm working towards that. I'm doing that with these longer fasts because obviously it's kind of exaggerating the scenario. In the future, I'd say probably towards the end of this year, I'm going to be experimenting with trying to develop a kind of schedule on the calendar in which I'm doing a 5 or 7 day fast like this with the protein shake and the bone broth once a month, and then possibly a longer one, I don't know, once or twice a year. I don't think I'm going to do 2-month fasts again after this year. I am considering doing another one April, May after this vacation is over. I'll spend a month just eating normal standard American diet again, just to kind of get body fat up a little bit in preparation, because I don't want to be 5% body fat and then do a fast. I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that's healthy. But anyway, I just wanted to spend a couple minutes and talk about that just for a second. So I appreciate you watching. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave those in the comments field below. If you've got a suggestion for what food I should eat in order to break the fast on day 64 in Hawaii, please leave that below as well. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be some interesting videos after the end of this Fasted-Thenics series. These are just basically daily logs, kind of like just a journal of my experience through day 64, and I'll ramble on and talk a little bit about some of my thoughts on why and what I'm doing and that kind of thing during these videos, but primarily it's a log. But thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.